Second plans viewers, we're not actually in the video, we're invisible.
Oh shit.
We inherited the Invisible Man virus.
Ruh-roh.
Good evening, everybody. Just joking, we're actually in the video tonight. It's TVB, we're here with Sarah, and we just saw The Invisible Man, which is a horror movie starring Elizabeth Moss and Aldous Hodge, I think is what his name is. He was in Strata Compton back. Oh, he's turning 5 years old this summer. Oh my goodness. But yeah, this is the follow-up to the 2017 film The Mummy, which is the first installment in Universal attempt to make a dark universe. This time, instead of mummies, we got The Invisible Man, another classic cinematic monster.
Yeah, when he said a sequel to The Mummy, I just kind of internally went, oh shit.
Yeah, so Elizabeth Moss plays a Cecilia who was dating this really abusive, like, psycho rich guy, and after he dies, allegedly, he apparently comes back to haunt Cecilia and just get under her skin and just ruin her life, and it's like a psychological thriller.
Yep, very psychological. It's definitely a movie that will get under your skin.
What were your expectations going into
My
Invisible
expectations were, I have no clue what I'm gonna get myself into. Because when you said sequel to The Mummy, I kind of went, what the fuck?
Well, it's not exactly a sequel. It's a cinematic universe. It's like the 2017 Mummy with Tom Cruise. It's like, it really wasn't that good. And honestly, like
it was a shit movie.
Yeah,
shit.
Dog
shit.
I didn't hate it. Like it had its moments, but it's like it was way too high on itself. I think that was the biggest issue. It took itself way too seriously.
I didn't hate it. I just thought it was shit. There's a difference.
And that's debatable, but yeah. So that movie was way too fixated on world building and be like, hey, we're gonna be just like Marvel, we're gonna have a big universe full of monsters and we're gonna be so cool, but it's like, no.
It failed.
Look, I'm all for cinematic universe, because I love classic cinematic creatures like Wolfman, Dracula, Creature from Black Lagoon, Frankenstein. If they want to do that, that's great, but you gotta establish itself on its own terms first.
Yeah. You can't just be like, all the fucking monsters come together and start
while
shit.
The Mummy was it was trashed by the critics, but it was a financial success. Most of that success, I'm assuming, came from overseas. So, I knew they were gonna pull forward, and the Invisible Man was in development hell for a while because of how, like, poorly received Mummy was. Mm-hmm. So I went to this film not really knowing what to expect. It's like, this could be garbage because The Mummy wasn't that great, but at the same time, they could have learned from their mistakes. And honestly, guys, they really did learn from their mistakes.
It's a horror movie. It's supposed to get under your skin.
That's what The Mummy should have been. Like, it should have been claustrophobic. Like, you know, maybe Tom Cruise and his friends were trapped in, like, an Egyptian labyrinth with a mummy chasing. That would have been a much better movie than what we got. But yeah, like, this movie, like, I think Elizabeth Moss, the performance is really top-notch. Yeah. Like, she really, like, sells the role, and, like, you see her, like, everyone else in the movie thinks that she's descending into madness.
Which, I mean, it's understandable, but context.
Right, yeah, but it's like, you see the movie from her point of view. Like, this is her perspective, and they utilize that brilliantly because, like, oh, you feel bad for her because nobody understandably believes her what's going on. It's difficult to talk about Invisible Man without spoiling it, but let me just say, when you think this movie, like, things for her couldn't get any worse, it does.
Yep.
And
it does again.
And it gets under your skin. It's a psychological horror movie, but actually messes with the way you're thinking about what's going on instead of, you know, just like jump scares.
Yeah, and it has a very slow build. Like, for the first part, I'm just like, okay, good establishment, where's the plot? And then it hits you.
I mean, the plot's pretty straightforward.
It just builds itself up, too.
Just poor lady gets attacked by her possibly ghost abusive ex.
Yeah.
And it's like, this film, you think you know where it's headed? I think pacing was a bit of an issue with it. Where it
started off so slow. I'm like, okay, I might fall asleep in a bit, and then the plot happened.
Yeah, I was a little worried that you were
I'm just kind of sitting there like, this is part of the plot.
Yeah, but
and then stuff started happening.
Yeah, but like, I think that she played off of the other characters as more like her friend that's letting her stay at his house and her sister. Like, everything in that department was played off super well. And honestly, there really isn't much that can be said with about Invisible Man without spoiling it. I think this movie's rated R. It's not too over the top about its R rating. There's definitely some there are some graphic moments for sure.
There's some, but it's not over the top, and
yeah, it's not gratuitous.
There's like maybe a few motherfuckers getting said, but like
yeah, that's really the worst, I guess. Obviously you don't need to see The Mummy either to understand what's going on. I'm just like, if they do decide to go through the dark universe still, I'm curious what they're going to do next. I haven't like looked up on Wikipedia or IMDb what they plan on doing, but I think a new Creature from Black Lagoon movie would be so sick, because out of all the classic cinematic like beasts, that one has been remade the least.
Mm-hmm,
like, we always hear about Dracula and Frankenstein.
There's
and
so much
werewolves,
Dracula.
And it's like
as much as I love Dracula.
Yeah, but I think the only Creature from Black Lagoon movie that we've had was the one back in the 1950s. Yeah, but anyway, The Invisible Man, like, the pacing was not the best, but at the same time, the film had top-notch acting and scares. It got on your skin. Great score and cinematography as well.
Oh my gosh, the camera work was 10 out of 10, and it fit.
Yeah, it fit very well, and yeah,
that was
honestly,
one of my favorite parts, was a lot of the camera work.
Yeah, and Universal, I salute you. You guys really learned from your mistakes. Remember how this works in the Birds of Prey review, the old scale of 0 to 10.
Yeah, 0 being like 0 and 10 being brilliant.
Like, hallelujah.
All right, go on ahead.
Honestly, I am glad to say that The Invisible Man, we closed winter off on because from December to February. I gotta make my winter films rank from worst to best video when I get the chance. I'm glad to say that The Invisible Man gets the first 9 out of 10 stars of the new decade. As of now, this is the best movie of the decade. It's an awesome film.
As of right now.
Yes.
That could change.
That could very well change. Well, your scale of 0 to 10?
On my scale of 0 to 10, y'all probably could tell from the last video, my scale tends to be a bit more critical. I'd probably give it about a 7 out of 10.
Alright, so you give it a thumbs up?
But that's in the thumbs up category, with 5 being
like, it's okay.
It's okay, and 0 being legit the most dog
shit.
I
gave Mummy a 3 out of 10 stars, so it's not terrible, but it's like,
it's at least it's a solid thumbs down.
Yeah, honestly, it's just weird satisfying when I review sequels or follow-ups to movies that came out like years before. It's like, wow, I can look back at my YouTube page now. It's like, what have I been doing in my life for the past 3 years?
Oh no, your life is getting eaten by the internet.
Because I started reviewing movies back in 2015, but I didn't become like a consistent part of my channel until 2016, because by then I was finally old enough. I was 17. I was finally old enough to drive and see R-rated movies with my parents. Yeah, it's like, oh,
you
goodness.
said 3.
Yeah, well, I remember reviewing Batman vs Superman back then.
Oh,
We've had more
God, that bothered me to no end.
We've had more DCU movies come out since then. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, Sarah. Thanks once again for joining us.
Indeed, you're welcome.
And yeah, subscribe if you haven't done so already, please. My name's TVB9.
And I'm Sarah. Greetings.
All right, you guys have a nice night.